Hey, what's up everybody? It's DJ Alex Brown here today for Betopper DJ, or Betopper. I say this every video I do for these folks. I still don't know how to say the name. In today's video, we'll be looking at this 150 watt LED beam moving headlight. And I'm so excited to look at this because I recently did a review of another Betopper light, which was a beam, but it had a bulb, a lamp, that was not an LED. And I'm curious to do a little bit of a comparison in this video of how the LED stacks up against the lamp version. And I have a couple of notes that I just want to give on some of the differences throughout this video. I'm not going to do a side-by-side comparison because this video would be way too long if we did that. But I'll just have a couple of notes from what I've noticed using both of these lights. Now, I did quickly want to mention before we get into taking a look at the light and what came in the box and everything, I did use this light as part of my Halloween display, just as a basic beam to do kind of searchlights in the air. I'll show you some videos of what this looked like, but it was pretty easy to set up with DMX and everything. And I did have a chance to use this outside in an outdoor environment, even though that's not what this is rated for. I think it was very interesting to see how bright it is during the daytime. All right, so I just wanted to take a minute to point out what this beam actually looks like in an outdoor environment. You can see it on my house here on the right side and very clearly in front of the house. The Betopper beam is on the right side of this video. You can see it hitting the house there, and you can see it's still dusk outside. There's still a little bit of sunlight out. This is with it fully dark. Again, on the right side is the Betopper beam, and you can see it, very little fog in the air. There is a little bit, but you can see that beam super clear and very tight beam. Here's back to a daytime clip where you can really see that beam in the daytime as well and how powerful it is. Because a beam is generally going to be very, very bright, because that beam is so tight and focused. Now, just to give you a quick idea, I hope you can see these two lights and the size. This is a 260 watt lamp-based beam from Betopper, and this is a 150 watt. So the size is quite different. However, the output, I would say, is similar. It's not exact. Each has their own set of benefits. If you like big, this would be the light for you. If you're looking for compact, then this would probably be the light for you. Just a quick reminder as well, if you do decide to purchase one or a set of these lights or any of the Betopper lights that I've done a review of, I always leave an affiliate link in the description that helps to support the channel. So please make sure you use that affiliate link for whatever light you're looking to purchase. And I saw the box for this light, I was a little shocked because I was like, this is a pretty small box for a beam light. This is the box that the light came in. This is the LB150. And I was shocked because this box is about half the size of the box of the other beam that I have. So I was like, how did they fit this light in this little box? There's no way this can be the light that I'm waiting on. And in fact, it was. It's 150 watt rated power on the light, so that probably means the LED is actually a little bit less than that because you need some power for the motors and things like that. It is a COB white light source. COB stands for chip on board. Basically, that just means it's a quality light source. It has a switching power supply. That's what this voltage reading means. It can go auto, sound, DMX, master, slave. The lifespan is rated as 50,000 hours. I haven't had any issues with any moving head LEDs lasting their rated lifespan, so I really don't even care what the lifespan is. It's a 12-channel DMX light. We'll talk about that when we take a look at the manual. And the beam angle is 2.8 degrees. I can say that most of the casing here is made out of plastic, with the exception of this bottom, which is made out of metal. Now, one thing I thought was really interesting when I pulled this light out of the package is there's no handles on it, but you do have these tabs. These appear to be drilled out so that you can put a clamp on, and this is definitely designed to be a compact light. No shortage of safety options on this light, and actually I kind of like this slim design, especially if you're looking to keep it slim. The only downside to this is that you would have to individually install your clamps each time if you don't have a case that is capable of storing the clamps left on the light. I think a lot of people would just put this on a truss tower, but if you are planning on using clamps, just something to be aware of. I've never seen a light with a base that's designed like this with these tabs before, so I find this very interesting, and it's a sign that there's innovation happening within Betopper on making lights smaller and things like that, and it's always a great thing to see. Another note is I think the last beam that I reviewed was lacking a power switch. This also does not have a power switch. That's not a problem for me, but it's just something you might want to keep in mind if you like a power switch on your lights. It does have power con in and out and 3-pin DMX in and out, all fairly standard for lights like this. On the front here, you of course have a sticker with your display menu, very simple and easy to use. Probably not going to go too deep into it, but it's very similar to any other moving headlight. Couple lights to tell you if DMX is plugged in and stuff like that. And then you have a little microphone hole here for sound active mode. I do like to mention in my light review videos when a light has sound active mode as an option because I think it's pretty important. I've seen a lot of more professional moving heads that lack a sound active mode, and I think for a lot of DJs, sound active mode is important. So good to know that this has a sound active mode. Let's take a look now at what comes in the box. Obviously, you get this light. You also get a DMX cable. This is similar to the other ones I've gotten with Betopper lights recently. The cable itself is an okay cable. I do like that it has black ends. This is something I've talked about in videos before, but it's probably not a cable I would use because it doesn't have any locking on it or anything like that. You also get a safety. It is a small safety cable, rated probably only for this light and the size of this light. And you do also get a single hanging bracket. Now, in my eyes, I would rather see this light hung from the tabs or handles that come out the side, but you could also use this hanging bracket. I'm sure this is probably how it's rated, but of note, this is not a quick release hanging bracket. It does have little threaded Allen screws that you would need to put in. So again, you would need to leave the clamp on this light unless you're willing to do a little extra work. Also of note, just taking a quick look at the manual here, they do have it rated for putting bolts through those little handle tabs that I was talking about, so you could do it that way as well. That's probably how I would prefer to do it with 2 clamps. And the light does have a color and gobo wheel, and there is, as usual, your DMX manual in here. Just one thing I wanted to note, I wasn't able to find a ready-made profile that worked perfectly with this light on the Wolfmix profile library. Now, I do usually get profiles made, but I was setting this light up very quickly, so you could absolutely have a profile made. I did find a default kind of generic profile. A couple of features that this light does have that are important or might be important to you. Of course, it pans and tilts. Every moving head does that. It also has strobe, color, of course, a gobo wheel, a prism. Just wanted to give a couple quick notes about the dimmer and the color. So this is the dimmer, very smooth dimmer curve. I love LED dimmers because there's not like a physical shutter going in front of the lamp to dim it like it is with a lamp-based light. So LED, perfect, absolutely love it. Always go for the LED in my personal opinion as compared to the last one of these lights that I looked at, which I'll talk about in a second. But also, I wanted to mention on the color wheel, there are a couple of color temperature filters for white light that closely mirrors sunlight compared to just a typical white light that you would have that's like a LED white. There's some lighter shades that I want to show you here that are a little more orange yellow. Great for a theater type application, although I'm a little confused about having that on a beam. It's a cool thing to have. It's always a great option. So I just wanted to mention that as well. Now, if you watched my last Betopper review video, you'd know that the last beam that I received from them was the first beam that I had ever received. And one of my downsides in that video was that you had to manually go into the menu settings or address it via DMX to turn the lamp on because it was a lamp-based light. With the LED in this light, you don't have to worry about that. You just address it as you would any other LED light by turning the dimmer up and opening the shutter. So I was happy to see this on this light. I did mention in the last video that I would prefer an LED, and that is now confirmed with having this LED light. I would definitely prefer the LED to save the hassle. You could go with lamp if you're looking for a small, compact, a little bit more expensive but less of a hassle option, then LED is probably the best fit for you. Now the price of this light can change from time to time, but I did notice on the Betopper website that they are offering a sale currently for Black Friday. I don't know if I'll even have this video up by Black Friday, but if I do, make sure you take advantage of that sale. I'm sure they'll also be running a holiday wintertime sale as well. Now something I did notice on this light is when I took it out of the box, it had a film over the top to protect the lens in transportation, or at least that's what I would assume. I did remove this, but you probably want to make sure you remove this before using the light. I'm not sure how necessary this was because at the end of the day, it was transported in a box, which is a bunch of high quality foam. So again, I'm not really sure that was necessary, but just make sure you take that off before you start using this light. You might also want to clean that lens. I did notice it seemed like it might have left some residue behind on the lens. It didn't really affect the light at all, but might be something good to do before you start using a light, as that light source might heat up the stuff on that lens and then make it harder. So as we head towards wrapping this video up, what would I rate this light on a scale from 1 to 5? I would say this is a 5 for sure. I think being that it's an LED light and that it has a pretty fair price, I think for a compact LED light this size, that is a great light to have in your kit if you're looking for a compact beam light like this one. Certainly for the purpose that it's intended, it's a 5 out of 5. The only downside I would really point out is the way that it gets mounted and the fact that it doesn't have quick release clamps. I would take a little bit off the rating for that. But again, I think you are still getting what you're paying for because this is a fairly cost-effective light. And ultimately, you are also getting a very compact light, and that is unfortunately one of the downsides, is that the quick release mechanisms are just not very compact. This is more, I think, an entry-level light for the DJ looking to get into lighting. It's a little bit simpler because it is a beam. Beams are more about an aerial effect, so I think without fog, you might not see as much of an effect of this light, but also you do get that concentrated beam, which helps you to see the light source without needing fog, so it's a trade-off, really. Now, the pros of this light, of course, are going to be that it is an LED light source. It is a small, compact, and lightweight light, and that it boasts all of the features, basically, of a comparable, very pro version light, while also having very simple use with the built-in display, having auto run and sound active modes, and the ability to manually program this light from the display. I think those are all great features that even some pro lights don't have, which again is crazy to me. So at this point, that's all I really have to say about this light. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and make sure to check out the cards at the end of the video because there will be recommendations of other lighting videos that I have on my channel that you might be interested. Once again, thanks so much for watching. I'm DJ Alex Brown, and until next time, peace.